Hey everyone, today I'm going to be making a longer handle for my short training spear. Before we get into this, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you. Now, onto the spear. This is a cold steel training spear that I bought some time ago, and I made a short handle for it because I wanted this to be sort of a te-yari, nagi-yari, inkwa type weapon. For those of you who don't know, the te-yari and nagi-yari are Japanese short spears. And the Zulus had a very similar weapon called the inkwa. Now, some of you may wonder, why have a spear so short? Doesn't that defeat the entire purpose? Not necessarily, because in Japan, they would use these short spears. Some of them were longer, obviously. Some of them were just over 4 feet long, but some were quite short as well. They could use this indoors. Some would even carry these inside of palanquins, which are carried chairs that were typically reserved for higher ranking people. In fact, some of the 47 Ronin even carried te-yari on the night of their assault on Kire's castle. The Zulus also used short spears like this. I suspect the reason being because they would generally have a shield in the other hand, and a shorter spear is generally easier to use one-handed. Obviously, you can use long spears one-handed. The Spartans, of course, did use spears one-handed, along with many other cultures. However, in general, shorter spears are easier to use one-handed. However, this length, even for a short spear, I find is just a little bit too short. So I'm going to make a longer handle. I'm going to be making the new handle out of this piece of Japanese white oak, which is 9.5 inches longer than the old handle. So it will be a decent length longer. I'm also going to be making a little knob for the end of the handle out of purple heart. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is taper the end of the new handle to accept the spearhead. The handle is now fitted for the spearhead, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is start on the piece of purple heart for the end of the handle. I'm going to cut off a 2.5 inch section of this, and then I will square up the ends on my belt sander. The block is now secured on. It's a press fit, it's epoxied, and it's got the brass pin, so that knob is not going anywhere. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to let this dry, and then tomorrow I will start shaping it. Okay, the epoxy is dry, and I have ground the brass pin almost flush. So now I'm going to start shaping this. There we go, the shaping is most of the way done. As you can see, I hit the handle a little bit, but that's okay because I still have to refinish this. I got the shape close to where I wanted, but I'm going to finish up the rest by hand.
Run, don't look back, rush, you're so fast. Don't ever be caught, this is not your war. Run and never stop at all. No cage can keep you there for much time, as you know. No cage is good enough for you. No one can make you do anything against your will. They're all afraid of you.
I've got the knob most of the way shaped. I'll do the final shaping after I smooth the handle. So now I'm going to smooth the handle, and I will start with scraping for this part, and then I'll finish with sandpaper.
You have the soul of a great guy, so sad, someday you'll say goodbye. No cage can keep you there for much time, as you know. No cage is good enough for you. No one can make you do anything against your will. They're all afraid of you. You're my friend, you're such a faithful friend. I'd rather you two stay. But I fear someday I'll have to watch you go away to an unknown place that we all
it in wire to do a tiger stripe burn pattern to it. So without further ado, let's get started.
No cage can keep you there for much time, as you know. No cage is good enough for you. No one can make you do anything against your will. They're all afraid of you. No cage can keep you there for much time, as you know. No cage is good enough for you. No one can make you do anything against your will. They're all afraid.
The burn pattern is now done, and now I will take off the wire. As you could see mid-video, I switched to a torch. That's because I melted my butane lighter, so I had to go get something else. And while I was at the store, I saw this propane torch. Price wasn't bad, so I decided to just go with a torch. There we go. I will now touch up the corner right here of the knob just to give it a little bit nicer of a shape.
Please don't despair. It ain't the end. Together we will find our path again. Highways like you, lost in the rain, and I found a way.
The sanding is now done. I didn't go too fine with the sanding because this is going to be a practice weapon, so I didn't want to make it too nice just to be marked up in practice. I will now apply the oil finish. This will definitely give the wood a lot of nice color, as well as hydrating the wood. And whenever doing an oil finish, as always, treat these like they're flammable because they are capable of spontaneous combustion, meaning they can catch fire by themselves. Okay, the first coat is now applied, so I'll let that soak in and then I'll wipe off the excess. First coat is now soaked in, so I'm now going to take the excess off.
Lost in the rain, and I found a way from gathering up.
That's how it looks with the first coat. I will now let this dry and then give it subsequent coats, and I'll show you how it looks when it's done. The oil finish on the handle is now finished. So I will now put the handle on the spearhead. And here we go, another finished project. And here it is up close. I can tell you now in hand this feels much better. It feels like it should, really. With that shorter handle, it felt more limiting. Now, where my hand currently is would have been the end of the handle before, and there was no hand stop, as you can see. So this handle is quite a bit longer. And of course, having the hand stop at the end for retention is very nice. With this new handle, I have about 8 more inches of gripping space, plus I do have the hand stop. So I definitely feel that this is more appropriate for this type of weapon. I do plan on getting some real spearheads in the not so distant future that I will be sharpening, fitting handles to, customizing, etc. So definitely be sure to keep an eye out for that. If you would like a spear, tomahawk, sword, or any of the other weapons that I work on customized, you can contact me at studentofwarcustoms.com. The link will be in the description. The music in this video was made by a friend of mine named Lo Belver. The link to his channel will also be in the description, along with the names of the songs used and the timestamps. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.